Okay, what's going on, guys? We're going to go over another video today. Mistakes that maybe gold players, something that you make, that elite players and top players do not. I want to give one example, and it's an example of baiting. It's one of my favorite examples that I like to use. People always ask me, how do you know when to bring out the goalkeeper and when is it best to step up? Well, it depends on a few things. Normally when I'm playing, now I'm generally quite an aggressive player, although this year you can't really play aggressive. To be honest, if you play aggressive this year, you're probably going to lose games, but I don't care. For me, I'd rather play the way that I want to play and have fun. But let's say you play over aggressive. One of my best methods to do is to bait the goalkeeper. Now, what this does is it kind of forces the opponent to make a chip early. Chips are very debatable whether they work in specific areas. What I normally do is I bring the goalkeeper out. As you can see here, just over here, you can see I press the triangle button. I bring the goalkeeper out, but then I let go. Now what this does is it brings the goalkeeper just in the corner of the screen, and it forces the opponent here to then make a chip shot, because they're assuming the goalkeeper is going to keep coming out. And then the chip shot is normally caught by the goalkeeper. Now, depending on the player, sometimes the better player would always run forward. Now, a lot of people are scared of this, and it's kind of a reactionary thing. So my best advice is when you do this, the key thing is just look out for the player. So when you see the player come about here, and let's say the player is completely in behind, then you bring the goalkeeper. That's the key. You stop bringing the goalkeeper out just about here, because you got to stop. Because if you keep bringing the goalkeeper out here, then the player could basically just go ahead for the chip and you could be done in behind. So you want to wait for the goalkeeper to be just about here and let him return back to the net. It's one of my favorite things to do, and normally baits a chip. So quick tip, if someone is coming out and you got no defensive line there, let's say you made a mistake and you're in grave danger, bring the goalkeeper out, try to bait your opponent to take a chip and hopefully catch the ball. Doesn't really work as much on a higher level, like it's a top tier elite level, because people have a lot of composure. But I'd say around the elite division 1, 2 and 3, it does work very well. If you want to get better at FC24, I do have an FC24 FIFA School Series. But before you skip ahead, what if I told you if you don't get better after 1 month, I'll refund you your money? I can say that because I've been running this school for many years and thousands of people have already joined and even stay on. We go over complete in-depth gameplay tutorials showing you the theory of it and then showing you gameplay examples in a structured format. Unlike my YouTube channel, they are a progressive learning system teaching you everything from the core mechanics to the meta so you can get better as a whole, with explanations that go beyond the scope of my YouTube channel. FC School has already started with new videos coming out every single week. These videos will adjust to the recent patches and updates so you can stay up to date and ahead of your competition. So come join thousands of others in a mature community for those looking to get better. Patreon.com/NeilGuides or click the link down below. Now when you join, we already have a library of hundreds of videos, more than my YouTube channel in fact, with new FC24 videos getting added constantly so you never run out of content. Remember, the biggest mistake people make is they spend thousands of dollars on FIFA points every single year thinking a team will make them better, but it won't. But now it's time for you to make that change. And don't forget, if you don't get better after 1 month, just send me a message and I'll refund your money. That is the Neil Guides guarantee. Patreon.com/NeilGuides. Link is down below in the description, or click on the pinned comment below. I wanted to go over another one. Defending kickoff. It's something that we all struggle with. Now you've probably seen these bounces, players pushing the ball back, or players doing 1-2s back. You have to be very vigilant when you're playing from kickoff. My best advice is, if you're not sure what to do, use a striker and run back. If you see this player making a run in behind, because what people are doing is they're doing a 1-2, then they're passing the ball to someone else and they're doing an L1 triangle over the top to this striker making a run in behind. There's two advice I've got for defending kickoff here. If this player here is running back, you want to right stick switch to your defender and you want to run back. Ideally, the tallest defender, that's the quickest, is a player you want to do that with. That way you can stop that pass over the top if you're worried about kickoff. So if you're not too sure and you're worried about kickoff, switch to your centre back and run back. The second way is, if your opponent passes around, what the best advice is to control your centre back here. Control your strikers here and run back with your strikers. This way you keep your midfield 4 in shape and you don't break position. And what I see the most common that people do is they run out with their centre mid, and then this player just runs through this player and then they go into a panic and then they get beaten. Only run out with your centre mid if you're comfortable with defending. My best advice is, if you're not sure, if in doubt, take them out. You can see here I bring my striker back, and you can see I make a kind of a makeshift midfield 3. And then if I want to be aggressive, I just hold the line, and then here when I do be aggressive, you can see I push into that direction and stop my opponent going upwards. I didn't aimlessly do that, and that allows me to then occupy. See, I'm kind of covering my opponent, so you can see the passing lane is covered, so my opponent can't get the ball to that player. And you can see here I'm trying to wait, and then you can see if I push the Lorente up, I've trapped my player. So although it looks like I'm aimlessly doing this, I'm pushing Llorente up there because I thought the player's going to go up. Now I've locked the player in, I've cut the passing lane, and then I've won the ball. So if you're not sure, don't take a risk. My best advice is, if in doubt, take the player out. If you're not sure, let's say you're like in a situation here, and let's say you made a mistake with Llorente. Here I would have gone with a tactical foul, but Stanway, she's already got a yellow card, you see. But like if for example, like you're here and you're not too sure, just take the player out. Take the yellow card, ask questions later. Kickoff is a thing, in my opinion, inside the game. It's a broken mechanic, whether you're winning, whether you're losing, it works. If you're not sure, just take the player out. So the first step is run back with your centre back. If you see that player making a runner behind. If you're not too sure, just take a yellow card, ask questions later. If in doubt, take the player out, play safe, don't take a risk. The next one I wanted to go over is dealing with pressure. Sometimes dealing with pressure, although it's quite difficult, sometimes it's the most basic things, but it's running into space and trying to keep the ball safe. My best general advice is you can always use hug the sidelines to make the team as wide as possible, but always use a wide formation. That way you've got the left mid, right mid available. But the key is you need to use a combination of the right pass and the right movement. But generally speaking, in order to keep the ball safe most of the time, it all relies simply on just simple left stick dribbling. It's left stick dribbling to get the ball and keeping it safe. So for example, like here, you can see when I get the ball, taking a touch away, then going upwards, then taking a touch away again. You can do a ball if you want to, using the goalkeeper. I always use the goalkeeper to create the extra player. And once I get the ball with a goalkeeper, I'm always on the vigilant and I'm always looking out for these players. This is why the crop camera angle is good, because you can see everything on a pitch. You can see, I can see this player's head with my eyes. I don't have to even look at the radar. Players normally lose the ball in these regions because what they do is they look at the radar, and what they do is when they look at the radar, they're not paying attention and they end up conceding the goal. So what you want to do is you can see where the goalkeeper is, take a touch, and you can see where the ball is. It saves you looking down at the radar. And you can see when I go forward, you have a look here when I get the ball with Llorente. I don't go forward, I take a touch into the space, then I make a pass into the middle. Then when I get the ball there, I try and make a pass. You can see here, I take a touch here, down, I take a touch here to Dabinia, and Dabinia unfortunately gets pushed off the ball. I get the ball with Llorente again, with Son again, and I lose the ball. And you can see with here, realistically, should I have done this? No. And I look at this back, I should have probably taken a touch away forward here instead of trying to make the pass going in. Right now in this situation, I'm trying to, because I was winning 2-0 already, I was trying to force my opponent to rage quit. But you can see here, I should have taken a touch away, wait a little bit, and I could have gone back and I could have recycled the play again if I wanted to. But I decided to go forward and lose the ball. But you can see the heart of it is always to do with left stick dribbling. Generally speaking, whenever you're dealing with pressure, whenever you're inside these games, the most important thing is left stick dribbling. Keep the ball under control. Take the left stick touch, control the ball. You can see, for example, like here, why did I lose the ball? It's because I made a big mistake. Let's ignore this situation here. When the ball comes back, look what I did. With Llorente, I should have taken a touch downwards and should have passed the ball down. But me forcing a driven, which is the most common mistake, forcing a driven pass. Sometimes when you're playing nonchalantly, you're not really thinking about it. Forced driven pass, you can see my opponent's player went in front. When there was a clear pass at the bottom that I missed, I then had to recover, win the ball back again. Just ignore the circle button in this clip, by the way. But you can see here, right, then I realize I made a mistake, so I take a touch here. Don't make the mistake, keep it safe. Then I go backwards. I'm not too sure. I switch the ball over to the opposite side. Keep the ball, keep it safe. You can see I create that space, left stick dribbling. Do a 1-2, wait for that player. If I can't, I take a touch away. Then I do a through ball. Then I do a 1-2. Then I make a pass around. And then I'm able to get the chance. Unfortunately, the goalkeeper just got the ball there. It wasn't really the best of fake shots for me. I should have aimed at a bit more upwards. But you can see that situation. The mistake was made by myself, trying to do a driven pass from a defensive area when I should have just cleared the ball in the first place. And the final one I wanted to go over is passing the ball quickly to your striker. What is the best way? The best way is a driven pass, but driven pass within reason. I don't mean spam driven passes for no reason. I'm talking about when there's a reason and there's space available. So this is a good example here. You can say get the ball with Dabinia, less it touches to keep the ball safe, as I mentioned to you in the first clip. And then I have to rotate the ball around. I get the ball back to Van de Ven. There's nowhere to go, so I just switch the ball around here. Then when I get the ball over here to Sonnet, I can see there's a space available and I'm able to make a driven pass. And you can see I get the ball around, get the ball again. You see I have to find these closed gaps because my opponent is closing out all these gaps. I have to keep maneuvering the ball. This is what happens on the higher divisions, or it's not high, it's always lower divisions. the more advanced version, should I say. It's all about finding a space and then creating a gap. And you can see there, I tried to outsmart my opponent because I presume my opponent moved the goalkeeper across goal. This time they didn't. I should have probably sweated that. That's the mistake that I made. But have a look at where I use a driven pass. You can see here, I utilize driven pass when there's no one in the way. A driven pass, a normal pass generally has like a kind of like this radius to fail. A driven pass has a larger radius to fail. So when you do a driven pass, make sure you're playing it with someone else got good short passing and long passing. And ideally there's space in between. Try to get it on the strong foot as well. You can see when I'm able to pierce the ball through, I'm able to get through. And you can see here when I rotate the ball around, I don't do driven pass backwards. I get the ball again here, Llorente. Again, I got to take a touch away, make a pass to Bina. Again, there's no one to pass the ball to, so I take a touch away, keep the ball safe. Then I rotate the ball back, get the ball with Sonnet again. Then I could take a pass, and when you see that driven pass just over here. Driven passes are perfect because if you do a regular pass here, the situation, your opponent can just read this pass and block it out. But a driven pass has a lot of power behind the pass, and even better if this player's got a first touch playstyle, they've got a better chance of controlling the ball. But it allows you to get the ball from your centre mid to your striker. Now, the key thing is don't overuse this. My advice is from the centre mid to the striker is one of the best ways to do a driven pass. And you can see, look when I execute a driven pass, the pass moves so quickly that I've actually taken a touch before my opponent has switched players here. You see that? And that is how you get the advantage, is playing the ball quickly before your opponent can think. And you can see here I tried to go for the pass across goal. Unfortunately, it didn't really transpire in this situation, but driven passes are kind of the best way to go forward if you're not too sure. I'm just going to show you one more final example before I let you go. You can see here, ignore the defending. This is an example of teammate contained defending. This is kind of a bit of aggressive defending that you can get away with once your ability is fine. You can see here, when I get the ball, I'm just going to show you just at this. I'm going to pause it when I get the ball just over here. You can see here, I did a driven pass because there's no one around me. You see that? I didn't take it. See, because there's no one around this player and I saw no one behind her. I did a driven pass. Then you can see here, you can see I could do a driven pass in that moment there, but it's quite risky. So I didn't take the risk yet. I just did a 1-2 backwards, rotated it backwards. Then you can see a driven pass in the middle. You see, I wanted to get the ball to this player here, but you see, I created a space. I faked that I'm going down the wing. I did a ball inwards. Then you can see I saw my opponent made the movement down. That player's moved that player and I'm able to pierce through my opponent's line with a driven pass. You see that? But only when there's space and there's a clear chance. I do it with a horror strong foot, I believe. And then you can see then I'm able to get the ball going forward. And then I'm able to do a 1-2. Then I do a normal pass. And then unfortunately I tried to go for the near post effort again because I thought my opponent was going to move the goalkeeper. But they didn't. They actually moved it near post. They're quite smart for my opponent. But you can see, for example, like here, you see when I get the ball here, it's a normal 1-2. You see here, it's a normal pass. No need for a driven pass from here. Get a normal pass here. Here probably should gone across goal here, but I was predicting that the goalkeeper was going to move across goal. On the higher end, advanced levels, when you face these good players, they always tend to go more towards the near post because going across goal is the most obvious thing to do. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a bit of just mistakes that some goal players make, and even some mistakes that I made when I was rushing inside the gameplay. Hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget, if you want to get better at FIFA, you can come to my Patreon, so patreon.com/NoGuys, where you can see more videos like this. Link is down below in the description. If you don't get better after 1 month, we'll refund your money. And we've got some pressing videos coming up very, very soon in the next few days or so. And the defending cutbacks videos there as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.